It's the Underpowered Hour. On this week's show, Audi building their own version of the Scout, Defender Trek, and then we tell you all about our favorite Black Friday deals. And now, here's the show. Welcome to the Underpowered Hour. I'm Steve Beres, mild-mannered television executive by day and Land Rover collector by night. You can find out more about our cars and what we're working on at theberescollection.com or follow us on Instagram at theberescollection. I'm joined, as always, by my good friend, Goss.
Thank you to everyone joining us today. I am the low-range lever to Steven's terrain dial. I am the chunky knob of podcasting, Ike Goss. I own and operate Pangolin 4x4 in Springfield, Oregon, where we live and breathe Land Rovers. Check us out online on Facebook, Instagram at Pangolin 4x4. Let's get started.
All right, Ike. Well, this week in the big Land Rover news, two nearly non-Land Rover related items. The first really more book related, but there is, I've heard, a covert mission going on with a Defender Trek edition driving across the country with a trailer full of books that have been banned, I hear, from schools. And those are all, of course, Land Rover service manuals that they're then inserting into school libraries. Without their permission or
do you think
knowledge.
this is like a covert sort of, scheme to educate American students?
Yes, that's what it is.
Since there's been such a big movement,
The government has stopped doing it, so instead, Land Rover has decided to take it on, and who better for the job?
I've heard rumors that they're going to, secretly instill Arabic numerals in the schools of our children.
Oh my God.
It's true. And possibly even socialist ideology, algebra.
Oh my God. The famous Middle Eastern math.
This is good. This is Land Rover's doing a good thing. They're donating books. They're pulling an old Dolly Parton here, and they've donated what says 40,000 books.
It's a lot of books.
They have a trailer. They have a special edition Defender with a wrap on it.
Speaking of Dolly Parton, it is quite the wrap.
It's loud.
Very bold, yeah.
It's loud. It's got a pink hood. Is that right?
Yep.
And then sort of a topology.
Of course, it has to be. Yeah, it has to be. If it's a Trek, there's got to be some topographic shit going on there. So they got that.
And then it's got some big blue segments, a white little cloud.
Little cloud, yeah, which means learning, I guess. But it's
doesn't have any lettering on the side. Nothing to tell you what it is or does.
It's just a big, weird-looking Defender. But
it is weird.
Also, the Defender Trek, no one would know what that was, anyways. It doesn't matter. But and it has a similarly wrapped trailer and.
You could sort of determine that. I guess it does have some lettering on the hood where no one's going to see it.
Yeah, that's right. That's everything you need in a Defender. And they're secretly inserting Land Rover service manuals across the country. So.
They're trying to get our children to buy Land Rovers.
That's right.
Do you think all the books are like stamped like courtesy of Land Rover?
Courtesy of Land Rover. They're all just stories about Land Rovers.
They're
it's just the first Overland.
Our youth.
It's boxes and boxes of that first Overland book. That's all.
Boxes of the first Overland book.
Nothing like kids like more than that. Yeah.
Old copies of
Jerry McGovern's book.
Yeah.
His design philosophy book.
What's a good title for Jerry McGovern's autobiography?
I don't know. I would say maybe like what's an automotive word that starts with the letter maybe Ascots and Autos.
Ascots and Autos.
Yeah. Or like what's a piece of drafting equipment that starts with an A?
Jerry McGovern, the inventor of the clamshell hood, in his own words.
In his own words, yes. He invented it even though it was invented before many generations. Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, you can't say that.
Yeah.
We're
a Model T Ford didn't have a clamshell hood, but pretty much everything after that, there was some iteration. So, yeah, whatever. That's fine. That's fine. Speaking of copying things that have come before and then taking credit for it, apparently our good friends over at Audi are looking to their fellow Volkswagen owned, or at least deeply invested in. I'm not exactly sure what the ownership structure is, but the folks over at Scout and looking to build an Audi Scouty kind of thing. I think they're going to call it the Scouty. The Scouty, yeah.
Yeah, so our sources are telling us that the Volkswagen Group, who is making a big push to reintroduce the International Harvester Scout EV, just
looks
in
super
time
cool.
for EV credits to expire. They have built or engineered, spent a lot of money on an electric platform for SUVs.
That's right.
With pretty high clearances. I think the Scout is available with like a 35-inch tire, possibly even a 37-inch tire.
It's crazy,
on the Traveler models.
Yeah.
So some big tires, and they're thinking about how can we incorporate this into our other, lines, because the American car market is in flux at the moment.
It's true. Nobody knows what they want, and the thing that you were government mandated into making, now you have to make the opposite thing, and it's a little bit all over the place.
So they're hedging their bets, and the Audi Group, also owned by Volkswagen, has made a prototype 4-wheel drive vehicle. And it's got like sort of an Audi station wagon-y hatchback thing on top of it. And it's got that, sort of Porsche Safari vibe, going on.
Yeah. They're doing a Lexus. And they're just taking the Toyota and putting a fancy body on it.
Yeah. Yeah, which I guess is, kind of what Audi does, right?
Yeah.
They take Volkswagens and put a fancy body on it. But now they're taking an International Harvester Scout, which has no real engineering from the earlier models, but the actual body of the Scout looks pretty like old school. It looks like a updated modern version of the original sheet metal.
Of the original Scout. Yeah, no, Chris famously has a Scout, and he's got one of the new ones on order. Of course, he doesn't listen to the show, and he is really excited, and they're sending lots of materials and things, as that's what happens now. You order a car 5 years before it comes out, and for 5 years, they just send you like little posters and a little keychain and all this sort of shit about every 6 months so that you don't forget that you ordered this car, a decade ago. And then finally it comes out. And in the case of like a Tesla, it's 4 times more expensive and 8 times shittier. But hopefully
the Tesla Roadster, that thing hasn't come out yet.
No, that's still not out. No, but I bet people are still getting keychains and shit.
Apparently people are trying to get their money back for the Tesla Roadster. And
really?
Yeah, they sued Tesla to get their deposits back, some of which I think were in the $50,000 range. They're pre-orders.
Oh, that's
or whatever.
Worth getting back for sure.
And they were like, no, you're not getting that back.
Wow. That is, Tesla, they're really winning. They're winning. They're winning hard.
Well, this will be really interesting to see what happens with this Audi and really the Scout. I think the Scout is the more pertinent entry to the market. There's been a lot of advertising around this thing, a lot of, unveilings and these sorts of things, press releases and so forth, but the schedule has kind of been delayed, and it'll be interesting to see whether it actually happens or not. The feedback when you see these posts on social media, like on Facebook or Instagram, there's a lot of people who are really, Scout enthusiasts, and like there are so many comments. The thing about people that like old school vehicles is they like old school internal combustion engines as well. So they were like, I totally would buy them if it was internally combustion powered vehicle. Right. And so I think they may have come out with a mild hybrid sort of thing.
There is, it's funny because it's called the Harvester. Is there like little, like gas powered, what in the original BMW i3, which was one of the first sort of mainstream EVs, was a scooter engine out of a BMW scooter.
So it's just a generator, basically.
It is a generator, yeah. But the cool thing that the Scout's doing is not only is it a generator to obviously, like, you can kick on and fill up the batteries, but you can also use it as a pure gas generator to run power tools and things, or to run things at your campsite without affecting the battery at all. So you're not running the battery down to do that stuff. You can actually decide to use the Harvester as just a straight generator, at least, again, in very preliminary everything. Who knows what'll actually hit the ground. And famously, the BMW, in order to be sold in California, could only turn on its little scooter engine when the battery had gotten to like really low, like 10% or 5% or something, at which point it couldn't charge it fast enough to allow the car to go uphill at full speed. So You would see guys, especially here in California, going up some of the big hills on the freeways on the shoulder, going up the hill at 30 miles an hour.
Hey, at least you can do that. No,
Yep.
Otherwise, it'd just be a brick,
That's right. Yeah.
My neighbor has a newer car. It's not even that new, honestly. It's like a 2020 like Chevy Denali like that. When the battery gets low on that car, all the dash lights turn on. You can't turn on the car, but all the dash lights will come on. Every like warning light indicator, the front headlights and the tail lights will come on, and the brake pedal will depress. And like that's supposed to tell you that the battery is like low and not taking a charge. Turn on all the electrical components in the entire vehicle. It's really silly, but I just don't understand why someone would make something like that.
No, I mean it's from an era far beyond your time. Like
it must be. I'm not understanding. I need a translator.
When an 80-inch battery runs low, it just starts a small fire, and then it's time to.
It doesn't even start a small fire. You just get out and crank start it with your hands.
Coincidentally, that is what I'm doing with my 80-inch right now because
you don't want to take the oil filter housing off.
I don't want to take the oil filter housing off of it.
No,
it's a big
you need
job.
to send that thing to me, and I will put the tub on it and starter in it.
That's a good idea, actually. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will do that. But speaking of sending Land Rovers out to meet a refurbishment, we're going to do a little Black Friday shopping special today. And talk about some of the things
What's
you might want.
on your Christmas list?
Well, the first up, and I think this is both you and I obviously very much, are getting one of these already. I'm sure they've been ordered, is the brand new Over Finch produced Holland Holland edition Range Rover, which of course is, Holland Holland is a famous gun manufacturer from the UK, very old, like it's like, I don't know, a 200, 300-year-old
Might as well
shotgun.
be 1,000.
It might as well be 1,000 years. It's from the Egyptians actually invented the over-under shotgun. And anyways, they've worked with our good friends at Over Finch, known for making things very expensive. Yeah. If you wear an ascot non-ironically on an ongoing basis, then you're very familiar with Over Finch already.
I'm really in the under Finch budget, to be honest.
Yeah, I think most of us are. This new Range Rover, I mean, it's fabulous looking. It looks sort of like a fancy chronographer watch. If that was realized as a car.
There's a lot of carved wood. There's a lot of engraving. There's a lot of embossing. There's a lot of embroidery.
Yes,
gold.
So much gold because it's best because it's gold. Over Finch logos everywhere. No Land Rover logo, I don't believe. I think even the oval on the grille has been rebadged.
Over Finched?
I'm not sure where it actually says.
Is that legal?
Land
Do they
Rover
allow
anymore.
that?
I don't know the answer to that. I mean, they're happy to get rid of the Land Rover logo. I think they're fine with that. They're like, yeah, get rid of it.
Ferrari, like famously, very much it protects the envelope of the vehicle. You can't repaint it. You can't do all these things. Like Land Rover doesn't do that.
No, they don't.
You can do whatever you want with it, and these people have. They
sure have.
There's a lot going on with this car. There's a lot of gold plating. There's a lot of polishing. There's a lot of fanciness.
I think my favorite, and it's hard because there's a lot of things I like about this car, but I think my favorite part is the pheasants that are embroidered into the middle, sort of rest of the front two seats.
Yeah.
Those are available, I'm sure, in all kinds of different colors, but in the example, it's a like hunter green, of course, and it has the Holland Holland stacked H's logo on the headrest, and then two pheasants just waiting to get shot, flying up from your seat.
If you want invasive Chinese birds in your vehicle,
that's right.
This is the car for you. Mm-hmm. When we were in the UK driving to Isnor Castle, if memory serves me, that place is infested with pheasants. There's thousands of them. You cannot drive down the road. Literally cannot drive down the road without hitting one with your car.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly. And you see them hit all the time because pheasants famously are very lazy and very stupid. So they don't like to fly. They hate flying. And so when they do fly, they will often fly up too late and get hit by cars.
They're the least challenging bird to shoot.
They are. They're a lot of fun. They are beautiful, yeah. They are beautiful and tasty, relatively tasty.
I know. So. I was on a trip to Eastern Oregon. One flew out in front of my car, my Dormobile, and it succumbed to its injuries. We cooked and ate it in a Dutch oven, but I sadly commemorate that experience with embroidered headrests.
No, in the Dormobile you didn't?
I didn't, but
That's
now
too
I
bad.
can.
But now finally, and not just the headrest. So this has I forget what they call it, but it's like the, first class rear seating like you would have in a Learjet or something,
Yeah.
right? And of course, as we know, all the seats for Land Rovers are made by Lear, by child laborers.
Apparently
And
that is actually accurate.
yeah, that happened. They did do that. But this one has been then overfinched with custom, like we said, embroidered, but also quilted, ventilated and heated seats. It has a special little Holland Holland plaque that I imagine hits you like right in the middle of your shoulder blades. I'm not sure.
It has some fancy cabinetry in the way back.
And then in the boot of the vehicle is where you secure your Holland Holland over under shotgun, as well as all of the ammunition and cleaning supplies for that. But my favorite part is in the same container, the same pull-out drawer as a shotgun, is the scotch and scotch glasses. Because we all know nothing goes
Drinking and
better.
shooting.
Yeah, nothing goes better. No.
It is interesting that, this drawer in the back of the vehicle appears to only hold one shotgun, but it also holds a full set of dinnerware. Like there's plates and glasses, and there's like a champagne fridge maybe, or
Yeah. It looks like a
something on
little
the
fridge
left
for your
there.
champagne there, and then champagne flute specific drawer above your plate drawer.
There's a holster for napkins,
Yeah.
but apparently that you can only put one shotgun in it.
It does look like that. It does look like there's only one shotgun with maybe a little pocket for a couple of shells. They really emphasize the drinking more than the shooting.
There's two drawers for drinking. There's one drawer for the scotch area, tumblers and whatnot, and then there's another drawer for the wine. Oh,
Yeah.
and I guess there's another drawer for the wine flute. So there's three drawers for drinking accessories. And
Well, 3.5, because technically half of the gun one is also drinking accessories. So
this is really the DUI edition.
yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so get drunk, do some shooting, and drive around your Over Finch Land Rover. Now, again, like I said, this is a Black Friday special here.
Wait.
What is the Black Friday price of this car?
I have one revision to make.
Oh, yes, yeah.
What we were talking about how the drawers in the back of the vehicle would hold a shotgun and ammunition.
Yes.
According to the description, that is not ammunition. It says
Oh.
there are two sizable pewter hip flasks playfully presented as shotgun cartridges.
Oh, I see. More drinking. So sorry, I will revise that up to 3.75 drawers.
Drawers of drinking accessories, and
No,
the shotgun
one
is
just
probably just another flask.
It may just be another.
You just
price.
unscrew the stock and you just start drinking out of the
There is
shotgun.
there's no actual guns in this. So this is what's the Black Friday special on this? One of 25 limited edition Holland Holland.
The Phillip edition. This is guaranteed to end up on its roof.
Yes.
Guaranteed. So this is 600,000 pounds, I believe, which is totally reasonable. Worth
every
penny.
pence.
That is definitely worth a hip flask right there.
For sure. I mean, they are playfully created in the image of a shotgun.
Know how many flasks are in this car?
That's right. The gear selector also doubles as a flask.
The headrest, you just take the headrest off and it's just a wine bladder. Yeah.
Have you seen the new Happy Gilmore film that's on Netflix?
I have, and there is a character that does this.
Yes, that's right. That everything is a flask.
He needs this car.
A flask.
He needs this car.
Yeah, he needs this car. But it is beautiful. More burled walnut than I've ever seen in my life. This is a Milton Berle edition. It's got everything. It's got so much leather and embroidery and embossing, and if it can be embroidered and or embossed, it is. Let's
I
just
want
put
to see
it
a
that
picture
way.
of the headliner in this car.
You can kind of see it. It just looks like it's leather. I assume it's like beige leather, but it would be the cover for the sunroof that I imagine they do something totally stupid with.
This thing's incredible.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, get yours now. Again, a Black Friday special of just 600,000 pounds.
You can in the Underpowered Hour store.
That's right. Head on over there. Get yourself an Over Finch Underpowered Hour edition.
The old Underfinch.
The Underfinch. We're gonna have to think of what the Underfinch edition Range Rover would
Same
would
thing.
look like.
Just It's the same thing, just more Flasks.
Yeah, just more Flasks. So in other Black Friday news, what are some of the things that you like to look for there on the Black Friday? Flasks that are shaped like other things that you can hide your drinking problem?
Yeah, I mean, my goal every year is to not buy anyone anything. But, we're going to have a little segment here on things to buy for your irritating friends and family.
That's exactly right. Well, things that I like to always look at the Black Friday deals for battery-operated tools. It seems like you could almost call it DeWalt Battery Friday because that's the only time in a year where I will like restock on that sort of stuff, right? Batteries wear out, or you drop them and break them, or whatever, right?
Sure.
And I find that they do a pretty good deal on cordless tools, especially at the Lowe's and at the Home Depot if you're so inclined to go into a store, which I know is your actual favorite part of Black Friday, is
going
people
into
murdering each other over a toaster. But
I love to see a stampede at a store.
Yeah.
Just got to do some research, Anywhere there's a big line of people, they've waited for days, a Pokemon card drop or sort of sneaker unveiling.
Yeah.
There's bound to be some fisticuffs. And
that's good stuff.
Boy, do I sure like a good trampling over some really not important product.
Not important product. Yeah, I like the cordless tools. This year, maybe I'll get that DeWalt rivet gun. They have that new 24-volt powered rivet gun, which I'm really interested in playing around with. I don't know if it does as good a job as an air tool, but the air tool, you've got the big air reservoir and everything on the bottom of it. Yeah. It could be sometimes a little tricky to get into things.
It's got a big long cord.
Yeah, it sure does.
It's got a
big long air hose that you can't just plug in just anywhere. So so the idea of like a cordless those, and nowadays you can get an impact wrench, an Ugadega. You can get those incredibly powerful. The DeWalt has these like 60-volt battery things and stuff, and they are serious. You break the studs right off your wheels with those things. Just snap bolts like it's your job.
Nobody uses an air-powered impact anymore, really. It's just mostly battery-powered stuff.
Mostly battery now, yeah. It's true. I still have a few big old air-powered ones, but they don't come out of the drawer that often. So anyways, if you're in the market or finally want to replace some of that stuff, I find that the Black Friday, pretty good if you need some battery-powered tools. I think next up is car cleaning shit, which I know you don't subscribe to.
I also don't clean my cars.
Yeah, don't ever clean the cars.
Just covered in, a layer of sedimentary dirt that goes back to my birth.
It's just a mung, a lot of mung in there.
It's great.
But yeah, this is a good time to stock up on all your car cleaning stuff.
What do you like for car cleaning stuff? Do you like the ceramic coatings?
I'm not a big ceramic coating guy. I like the chemical guys because they kind of remind me of the Chemical Brothers. I like to listen to the house music when I'm polishing the car.
Some EDM. So what do they make, the Chemical
Brothers?
They
make essentially all of the cleaners and polishes and that sort of stuff. So I really like their interior cleaner. They have essentially a pretty simple, it's probably just dish soap and water, but like a really good interior cleaner that doesn't leave all your shit so slippery that, especially if you're getting into your 80-inch, and if you've armor-alled those seats, you're going in one side and you're sliding right out the other. There's no seat belts, there's no bulk, there's nothing to keep you from just going out the other door.
Out the other side.
Yeah.
Completely on the ground on the other side.
And especially, a lot of my cars don't have seat belts, so when you're going around a corner, if the seats have been armor-alled, you're also going to slide out of the car as it's moving, which is also a safety hazard. So yeah, I like the Chemical Guys stuff. For that, I like 3M for polishes. They do a whole line of professional automotive polishes that are really good. So
yeah, I'm just like a toothpaste, sort of person. I'll just
a little bit of toothpaste on there. It works.
Just a fine polish. Toothpaste.
It works. Yeah, it works. I like to, instead of doing like ceramic coating, I like to, in the case of a car that's been outside for like a really long time, maybe we should talk about that sometime, but we usually do a paint cut on that. So that will be where you take off just a micron of the oxidized paint on top of the good paint that's underneath. You should definitely measure the paint before you do that. Make sure you don't blow through it, and practice. Go to the junkyard. This is what I always tell people. Go to a junkyard. They'll sometimes just give you a hood. You don't even have to pay for it many times. And practice on a junkyard hood.
Nobody's going to buy a junkyard hood and practice their polishing.
They're just
a terrible suggestion.
Straight onto their car.
Nobody's got room for an extra hood from the junkyard.
Yeah, junkyard hood and do some polishing.
Yeah, good deal. Just comment Comet. You know, it's got that mild abrasive on it. Barkeep's friend. Just
the barkeeper's, barkeeper's friend. That's exactly right. That's friend. And then put it on there, and we'll do a paint cut, and then we'll wax the car like we have for the entire history of cars. The ceramic coatings are really cool, but nothing beats waxing a car. And you can.
What kind of wax do you like? Carnauba?
I do like a Carnauba wax, and we machine wax the cars, but you gotta.
Do you know where the Carnauba comes from?
No, where does Carnauba come from? Is it like a blood diamond? Is it
I'm not sure. I realized that I've gone 40 years of my life and not known what Carnauba is. No one knows.
I don't know. Well, it's a wax, I imagine.
Duh. It says wax.
It says Carnauba wax, right?
Apparently, it's also called Brazil wax, which you can imagine what that's for.
Oh, boy.
And then palm wax, which I guess you could probably get an idea what that's for. So all those things are the same.
Yes.
It's from the leaves of the Carnauba palm.
Okay. There you go.
There you go.
It works real good, man. It works real good. And
it's the queen of waxes.
What's the king of waxes?
I don't know. It doesn't say. This just says in its pure state, it's usually available as a form of hard yellow and brown flakes obtained by collecting and drying the leaves, beating them to loosen the wax, and refining and bleaching it.
Interesting.
It's also used as a food additive, so apparently you can eat this stuff.
You can eat it. I did know that.
Put it right on toast.
Yeah, you can eat it. You just butter up a toast. It's real good. So, and the thing with the Carnauba wax is that you have to make sure that it's the right temperature. So you cannot wax a car when it's too cold or when it's too hot, because the wax won't set properly, and then buffing it becomes either impossible. It just turns white and gross if it's too cold, or it will leave all kinds of weird swirls if it's too hot. So.
It's also used in dental floss.
That makes sense.
Paper
wax
coatings.
No, it's obviously edible.
Very versatile wax. So there you go. That's your lesson on Carnauba wax for the day.
And finally, if you do have that Over Finch Range Rover, I like leather honey.
I just use the leather grease.
Conditioner. Need pheasant grease? Yeah, that's a good point, actually. They are greasy birds, to be fair. Very greasy. Yeah. But I like the leather honey. You ever use the leather honey?
Yes, I haven't, since I've never
don't have any leather.
No, never really.
What do you use on the vinyl seats besides just old Linus? Just
the
Linus.
blood of my enemies. Yeah, it works really well.
You just have Linus disrobe and roll around in there.
That's just a terrible image.
Gets it perfect.
You're driving away listeners right now. I'm looking at the numbers. They just went down like 40%.
Went down 40%. But a whole new group of people came in. It was very interesting. I don't know what. Interesting. I also like, if you don't have one, if you have a newer vehicle, this is a good time to buy one of those little pocket OBD-II scanners.
Okay.
Those are always on like crazy sales at around this time. And, there are ones that are specific for Land Rovers. Atlantic British sells a really good one. Rovers North sells a really good one. You can sometimes find, the actual service tools, Pathfinder and things on eBay and stuff like that. But most good OBD-II scanners pay more than $50 for one. And they'll diagnose all the codes, and they'll give you the code number, and then you can very quickly Google it. So you don't necessarily need a code reader that can actually tell you exactly what it is and everything.
Now, one thing I do think is fun about the earlier fuel injection systems on like Range Rovers and Defenders is they had a digital readout.
They did.
That would tell you the code, and you didn't need a reader. It would just tell you what's wrong with it.
That's right. And it's a little, if you have a non-air conditioning Defender, it's up under the passenger as well. If you have an air conditioning Defender, it's on the side of the air conditioner. But yeah, it's a little, little display, 2 characters, and it would give you the thing. They're really neat, honestly. And you can the factory service tool plugs into that port. So you unplug that, you plug in the factory service tool, and then of the time, which is like this insane rolling cart of beige equipment, and it would essentially just tell you the same thing more or less, but on a computer screen. But yeah, very cool.
Technology is forever moving backwards. I mean, how do you go from this built-in reader that tells you what's wrong with it to like all these standalone readers that don't?
That don't really. And the actual Pathfinder is like a laptop with a thing plugged into it, with another thing plugged into it that has to connect to the internet. And as we know, if you've been hacked, you can't service cars. So
yeah,
not so good. And finally, and maybe most importantly, is Black Friday is a fantastic time to stock up on dumb video game shit. So if you
Dumb
are
video
building
game? Oh
a
my gosh.
farming simulator or maybe a Dakar
Who is
race
building
simulator.
a farming simulator?
Oh, I have a farm simulator. I love farm sim, man.
You have a
My
seat,
jam.
a tractor seat in your
do.
farm simulator.
I want to get. It's funny you say that because I want to get an actual tractor seat because it just
You're insane.
it enhances the realism.
Just a pig saddle for your farming simulator.
Just a saddle. I'm just going to be in a saddle doing I got my steering wheel and I'm cultivating my silage. Yeah, it's great. It's really great. But if you're building like any kind of racing simulator, maybe a Dakar racing simulator, I don't know anybody who might be doing that.
No.
But you can get the racing wheels and all that kind of stuff, crazy good deals right now, as well as, PC components and all that stuff. Obviously, that's Black Friday is great for that. But yeah, it's all out there for you right now. Get in line, get your hockey pads out and head to a Walmart and just see who you can punch.
Oh my gosh. The greatest.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some good videos.
Oh
Show
yeah,
notes.
can't
Just
wait.
Angry shoppers.
Of just Ike antagonizing people as they try to buy a plasma TV. Yeah,
It's gonna be terrible.
Can't wait.
Yep. This episode is a tribute to the greed of American consumers.
It's true. World consumers. That's right. If you want to spend all too much money on things that you kind of don't really need, well, this is the week for you. So I'm off to Las Vegas for the big Formula One race there tomorrow. And then I'm going to immediately get in line at Walmart. So
Nice. Well, say hi to Max for me.
can't wait. Yeah.
All right.
The
See you
old Verstappen. We're going to go hang out. It's going to be great.
All right.
See you next week. Bye.
The Underpowered Hour is produced by Liza Beres, Ike Goss, and me, Steve Beres. Pavel Svardov composed and performed our theme music. Consider supporting the show on Patreon, and if you already do, thank you. Your support makes the show possible. For even more, check out our Instagram or Facebook.